Aliens visited Earth laughing. Then their signal went dead. The alarm tore through the silence at 3:17 a.m. Dr. Elena Voss bolted upright, her half-empty coffee cup toppling onto the keyboard. The central monitor flashed crimson, signal locked. What the hell? She stabbed the console, pulling up the data. A rhythmic pulse, too perfect to be natural. Her throat tightened. Jack, get over here, now! Commander Jack Carter barged in, his shirt wrinkled from a nap under his desk. If this is another false alarm, I'm demoting you to cleaning duty. He squinted at the screen. Then his smirk died. The waveform wasn't random noise. It was structured. A message. The speakers crackled to life. At first, it sounded like static. Then, laughter. Not human, not mechanical. Something alive. A wet, gurgling chuckle that spiraled into shrieking glee. It echoed through the room, bouncing off the steel walls like a trapped animal. Look at them, a voice gasped between wheezing laughs. They built, they built little dishes to talk to the stars. Elena's hands clenched. The voice wasn't just amused, it was mocking. Jack's cigarette hung limp between his lips. Play it again. She did. The laughter looped, each replay more unnerving than the last. Then, halfway through the third iteration, silence. The transmission cut dead. No warning, no fade, just gone. Elena's fingers flew across the keyboard. We lost the signal. Not on our end. Theirs. Jack exhaled smoke. You think they hung up on us? No. She pulled up the spectrogram. The last millisecond of the transmission wasn't empty. It was a scream. Outside, the desert wind howled. The computers hummed, searching for a signal that no longer existed. Elena met Jack's eyes. They weren't laughing with us. Yeah. He crushed his cigarette. And something shut them up. Deep Space Array, New Mexico, 6:42 a.m. Elena's fingers trembled as she replayed the transmission for the 12th time. The alien laughter echoed through the lab, each replay making the hairs on her neck stand taller. Jack paced behind her, his boots scuffing against the cheap government-issue tile. CNN just picked it up, said a junior technician, his voice cracking. It's trending worldwide. On the wall-mounted TV, a news anchor stammered through breaking coverage. Unconfirmed extraterrestrial contact, repeat. We are receiving reports of... The chyron below screamed. Aliens laugh at Earth? Jack snorted. Of course it went viral. We're a goddamn meme now. Elena zoomed in on the spectrogram. There's something else here. Right before the cutoff. She isolated a microsecond of audio. Not laughter this time, but a screech, jagged and raw, like metal being torn apart. United Nations Emergency Session, 11:15 a.m. The Secretary General's podium was a storm of flashing cameras. This is not an invasion, she insisted, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her. Merely first contact. In the back row, a Russian delegate muttered into his phone, Nyet, not contact, a warning. Military satellites shifted orbits. Nuclear submarines went silent. In Beijing, a general ordered the Great Wall Hypersonic Array to standby mode. The world held its breath, waiting for the aliens to speak again. They didn't. 4chan/x/board. 2:23 p.m. Thread title. They weren't laughing at us. Anonymous, April 20th, 25. Mon, 1423. Analyzed the audio. That wasn't a haha laugh, it was a nervous laugh, like when her friend says something dumb and you laugh. But then you see the teacher looking at you, both they were scared. The post got 10,000 upvotes in 12 minutes. Elena's lab, 9:07 p.m. Jack slammed a whiskey bottle onto the console. Toast time to being the universe's joke. Elena didn't look up from her screens. They weren't the ones laughing. What? She rotated a 3D model of the signal's origin point, a region 1,200 light-years away. This waveform? It's embedded in the laughter, like someone recorded the aliens laughing, then played it for us. Jack's glass froze halfway to his lips. "You're saying something made them scream," Elena whispered, "and whatever it was is still out there." Outside, the desert wind screamed like a dying transmission. Deep Space Array, New Mexico, Day 3. The coffee in Elena's mug had gone cold 6 hours ago. She stared at the holographic display, where jagged red lines spiked across a black void, the last echoes of their laughter. The entire world was now holding its breath, waiting for the aliens to speak again. But it wasn't the aliens who spoke next. At 2:17 a.m., the array picked up a new signal. Not laughter. A scream. Elena's blood turned to ice as the sound ripped through the lab speakers, a raw, primal shriek that dissolved into static. The waveform didn't match the first transmission. It was older, deeper. Jack burst into the room, his face pale under the fluorescent lights. What the hell was that? Elena replayed it. The scream wasn't directed at Earth. It was distant, like an echo of something far worse. "Something found them," she whispered, "and it hurt them." Pentagon Situation Room, 4:30 a.m. General O'Connor slammed his fist on the table. "We need to assume hostile intent." On the screen, satellite feeds showed military bases worldwide shifting to DEFCON 2. In the background, a young analyst muttered, "Sir, we're not even sure what we're dealing with." "Doesn't matter," O'Connor barked. "If something took out them, we're next." A classified report flashed on the monitors. Signal origin triangulated. The coordinates pointed to a dead zone in deep space, a region astronomers had long dismissed as empty. But it wasn't empty. Something was there. And it had just noticed Earth. Dark Web Forum user. Truth Seeker 404. Post. They made a mistake. The aliens weren't laughing at us, and they were laughing with relief, because they thought we were the dominant species here. They were wrong. There's something else. Older. Hungrier. And it's been here the whole time. The post was deleted in 12 seconds. Elena's lab, Sunrise Jack, paced like a caged animal. "We need to go public. Now." Elena didn't look up from her screen. "And say what? Hey world, we might be cosmic prey? Better than waiting for that thing to introduce itself." A new alert blared on the console. Elena's breath caught. Incoming transmission. Active scan detected. The array was being probed. Not by the laughing aliens, by whatever had silenced them. Jack's hand hovered over the emergency broadcast button. "Elena, what do we do?" Outside, the first light of dawn painted the desert red. Location: Global Technological Meltdown. Deep Space Array Control Room, 5:33 a.m. local time. The alert screamed through every speaker simultaneously. Active scan in progress, origin unknown. Elena's fingers flew across the keyboard, trying to trace the source, but the signal kept sliding through their systems. Impossible to pin down. Then, the monitors flickered. One by one, every screen in the facility displayed the same message in jagged blood-red text. "We see you now." Jack ripped the power cord from the wall. The screens went black. For 3 seconds, there was silence. Then every device in the room laughed. Smartphones, tablets, even the emergency backup radios. All emitting that same wet, gurgling chuckle from the first transmission. The security cameras swiveled toward them on their own. "Shut it down!" Jack roared, smashing a monitor with his chair. Elena grabbed the fire extinguisher and bludgeoned the main server. The laughter cut off mid-cackle. Panting, they stared at each other in the sudden silence. Outside, car alarms began wailing across the base, each one distorting into that same alien laughter. Global incident reports, compiled 6 o'clock to 6:15 a.m. Tokyo Stock Exchange. All trading screens displayed laughing emojis as $300 billion vanished in algorithmic panic. Moscow subway. Announcement system screamed for 47 seconds before playing a distorted nursery rhyme. CERN Hadron Collider. Sensors detected impossible particles forming smiley faces in collision data. ISS live feed. Astronauts reported hearing whispers in the walls before comms cut out. The internet dubbed it the giggle event. No one was actually laughing. Elena's make-safe lab, improvised Faraday cage, 8 a.m. They'd dragged a microwave oven into the bathroom and wrapped it in tinfoil, the only place the signal couldn't penetrate. Elena hunched over a radiation-hardened laptop, analyzing the scream from part 3. "It's not a distress call," she whispered. "It's a warning." Jack leaned in. The audio waveform, when slowed down 1000x, wasn't random noise. It was a pattern. A perfect fractal of other screams, stretching back further than human history. "Whatever this is," Elena said, "it's been doing this for millions of years." A new alert popped up. The array had auto-rebooted. On screen, a single line of text appeared. "Your turn, Pentagon Black Site. Night Flyer classified." The 3-star general watched the nuclear football's display light up with unauthorized codes. Every warhead targeting system worldwide was glitching, cycling through coordinates too fast to read. The technician's voice shook. "Sir, it's trying to aim them." At what? No one dared guess. Location: Global Biological Intrusion. New York City Mount Sinai Hospital, 3:18 a.m. Dr. Priya Sharma's clipboard clattered to the floor. Patient 0, a 32-year-old taxi driver, had been admitted for uncontiguous laughter. Now his ribs visibly cracked from the force of his convulsions. His jaw unhinged with a wet pop, yet the laughter kept coming, gushing between teeth slick with bloody saliva. The heart monitor flatlined. His corpse kept giggling. Across the hall, 7 more patients erupted in identical laughter. Deep Space Array underground bunker. Elena watched the viral outbreak reports flood in through their last secure terminal. "It's adapting," she muttered. Jack paced behind her, his pistol now a permanent fixture in his grip. The pattern was clear. Phase 1. Random civilians develop laughing fits. CDC code, Hysterica aliena. Phase 2. Vocal cords shred, producing perfect imitations of the original transmission. Phase 3. Death, followed by 3 minutes of post-mortem chuckling. A new email alert popped up. NASA's last update before their systems fried. Signal origin confirmed. Not extraterrestrial, not interstellar. It's coming from inside the solar system, from the Kuiper Belt, from something waking up. Jack cocked his pistol. "We need to nuke the array." Elena didn't argue. Tokyo Shibuya Crossing, live cam. Last frame before blackout. The sea of commuters froze mid-step. Then, in perfect unison, 2,463 heads snapped upward. 2,463 mouths opened. 2,463 voices screamed the same scream from the second transmission. The camera melted. Reddit/r/nosleep. Archived. Posted by you/whispers, _in_my_walls, 3 hours ago. It's not an invasion. We're the zoo animals. The aliens were the visitors. Something else owns the zoo. And feeding time just got announced. Elena's notebook final entry signal isn't communication. It's activation code. Laughing victims? Neural receivers. Meat radios. Arrays not picking up transmissions anymore. It's broadcasting. Jack's voice cut through her thoughts. "Elena, look at the seismographs." The entire planet was vibrating at 17 high, the exact frequency of the alien laughter. Somewhere beyond Pluto, something licked its lips. Location: the solar system's dark secret, Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Deep Space Tracking Station. The holographic display flickered, projecting a nightmare in shimmering blue light. Dr. Elena Voss traced her fingers through the static, pulling up the latest deep-range scan. The Kuiper Belt object wasn't a rock. It wasn't a ship. It was alive. "Jesus Christ," Jack muttered, squinting at the data. "That thing's bigger than Pluto." The scans showed tendrils of dark matter weaving through the outer solar system, invisible filaments connecting to every laughing victim on Earth. The entity wasn't just watching, it was pulling strings. Decrypted alien transmission, reconstructed from laughter echoes. They call it the gardener. It plants civilizations like seeds. We laughed when we saw you, because we thought you were free. The file corrupted itself immediately after playback. Moscow Underground Rat Tribe Hideout. The last free hackers on Earth clustered around a jury-rigged quantum computer. Their leader, a 14-year-old prodigy named Lex, stabbed at the keyboard with grease-stained fingers. "I found the off switch," Lex whispered. On screen, a DNA helix model spun lazily, certain base pairs flashing red. It coded the laughter into our junk DNA, like a biological dead man's switch. One of the younger kids tugged Lex's sleeve. "Can we stop it?" The entire room jumped as every light bulb in the tunnel exploded. From the darkness came a sound like 1,000 people laughing through clenched teeth. Elena's discovery, the true timeline 1. 4.5 billion years ago, the gardener seeded Earth with pre-programmed DNA 2. 12,000 years ago, laughing aliens visited, realized the trap, tried to warn us 3. Now, harvest cycle initiated. Jack stared at the data. We're not a civilization. We're a crop. Outside, the sky flickered, something vast uncoiling beyond the atmosphere. Last broadcast from the International Space Station. It's here. It's static. Not a ship. Not a god. It's the whole damn Kuiper belt. The belt was its body. We were its lunch. Tell Earth to... Transmission ended mid-sentence. Location, planetary death throes, Indian Ocean, USS Ronald Reagan Bridge cam footage. Admiral Zhao's final transmission showed the sea breathing. The water bulged upward in a perfect sphere, 2 kilometers wide, hovering for 3 heartbeats before collapsing back with a sound like cracking bones. Then, the laughter started. Not from crew, but from the ship itself. Steel groaning in that familiar guttural rhythm. The last frame showed the ocean turning black as tendrils breached the surface. Elena's bunker, 300 feet below Nevada desert. The ground trembled as Elena scrolled through dying satellites' last images. Tokyo Tower. Melting like candle wax, the Amazon rainforest folding in on itself like origami. The moon's surface writhing with new crater patterns, Jack smashed his fist against the wall. How do we fight something that eats planets? Elena pulled up the alien laughter spectrogram again. We don't. She isolated a subharmonic frequency. We lie. The gardener's true nature, reconstructed from alien data fragments. 1. Feeding cycle. Consume civilizations at peak technological development. 2. Weakness. Can only harvest ripe cultures broadcasting certain signals. 3. Humanity's mistake. The deep space array's transmissions made us visible. Lex's voice crackled over their last functioning radio. I can fake our death. Make it think we went extinct. Static swallowed the rest. Global event timeline. Final 24 hours hour. 1. All remaining birds fall from sky. Laughing. Hour 6. Concrete in major cities grows teeth. Hour 12. Earth's magnetic field begins singing the scream. Hour 18. Jack discovers his fillings vibrating in Morse code. Don't trust the moon. Hour 23. Elena injects herself with experimental RNA scrambler. Last transmission from Lex's group, a single image. The modified DNA sequence, flashing like a neon sign. Attached note. It thinks we're rotten now. Play dead. Become indigestible. Wait for the next gardeners. Tell them to run. Location. Earth's final performance. Underground biosphere. Eden 12. Day 17 of harvest. Elena's syringe hovered over the crying child's arm. It won't hurt, she lied. The milky white RNA scrambler swirled like spoiled milk. Across the bunker, 437 other survivors stood in line. Doctors first. then engineers, then those who could still remember nursery rhymes. The child's eyes locked onto hers as the needle went in. Will I stop being me? Elena's hands didn't shake, just the parts it wants to eat. The child's laughter started 30 seconds later, but now it was wrong, purposefully off-key. A biological fire alarm. Global status report. Compiled from dying satellites, 1. Population, 8.2 billion, 312 million. Scrambled, 2. Technology. All digital systems now broadcasting fake decay, signals 3. Biodiversity. 73% of species genetically spoiled per Lex's parameters. The gardener's tendrils retracted from Moscow first, then Mumbai, then Houston. Like a chef withdrawing from rotten food, Jack's sacrifice. They found him kneeling before the array's ruins, his mouth sewn shut with piano wire. His note, "Can't risk laughing. Tell Elena, the moon was never ours." His corpse grinned when the tendrils touched it, then immediately went limp as the genetic poison took effect. The tendril recoiled, dripping black ichor. The moon's true purpose. Elena deciphered it from the Morse code in Jack's fillings. Not a natural satellite. The gardener's first planter. All human lunar missions were carefully guided to avoid discovering the truth. Now its craters pulsed like a heartbeat. Lex's final broadcast. A 12-second video from an Antarctic ice tunnel. We had to make Earth toxic. But look, it's leaving. The scrambler works. Now comes the hard part. Living dead for 10,000 years. Until the next gardeners come. Tell them we choked on our laughter. The camera caught first glimpse of Earth's new atmosphere, swirling with DNA-altering nanospores that would maintain the illusion for millennia. Elena's last journal entry. Day 189. The children are learning Old English swear words. The cows give blood instead of milk. My reflection sometimes mouths words before I do. The scrambler is working. We are perfectly, beautifully inedible. And when the next gardeners come, we'll teach them how to laugh. Location: New Earth, 12,341 CE excavation site, Gamma 6, formerly known as Antarctica. The young xenoarchaeologist's laser scanner pinged as it revealed the ice-encased horror. "Chief, you need to see this." Dr. Cale Renick adjusted his thermal goggles. The ice core sample wasn't supposed to contain faces, yet there they were. 12 perfectly preserved human heads, mouths frozen mid-scream, arranged in a circle like a grotesque clock. The oldest head's lips moved. "Don't dig deeper," it whispered in dead language Latin before shattering. The second human civilization, key. Differences 1. Biology. Purple-tinged skin from generations under DNA-scrambled skies 2. Religion. Worship the old ones who choked. Us. 3. Technology. Developed without radio astronomy, by instinctual avoidance. Their moon probes always malfunctioned at 50 kilometers altitude. High Chancellor's secret chamber. New Baghdad. Chancellor Vera stared at the hologram of Earth's ancient corpse. "You're telling me," she said slowly, "that our junk DNA contains—" "What exactly?" The geneticist trembled. "A recipe, Excellency, for something called laughing gas, and a map to spit it out, to wake the gardener." The chamber's lights flickered. Somewhere, an infant laughed in perfect 21st century English. Elena's time capsule, activated by genetic key. A holographic Elena shimmered into existence, her pixels decaying at the edges. "If you're seeing this, you've reached our level of technology, which means you're ripe." She gestured to a star chart. "The scrambler won't work twice, but we left weapons in the Kuiper belt. Pieces of the gardener itself turned against it. Find the head, make it laugh, then run like hell." The transmission ended with 12th century Elena adding, "P.S. The moon is pregnant." The new astronauts' discovery. Their ship breached the Kuiper belt's dark perimeter. There, floating amidst the debris of dwarf planets, a mouth. 3,000 kilometers wide, lips parted in eternal hunger. Teeth made of shattered planetoids. One astronaut's suit speakers crackled. "We see you too. Location. The Kuiper Belt's Maw Event Horizon of the Mouth." Captain Rail's spacesuit sensors screamed as they crossed the teeth. Each tooth was a fossilized civilization. Dinosaur-like skeletons in spacesuits. Silicon-based lifeforms frozen in glass. Things with too many limbs forever grasping at escape. The comms crackled. "It's not a predator." Then the tongue moved. A mountain range of flesh unfurled beneath them, covered in blinking eyes that wept black tears. The tears spelled words in vacuum. "You don't understand the hunger." Memory imprint found in the tears, decoded by AI. 1. The gardener's origin. A refugee from the previous universe 2. Its true purpose. Preventing civilizations from triggering the next Big Bang 3. Why it laughs. Because entropy is the only joke that never gets old. The last human astronaut understood too late. The gardener wasn't harvesting food. It was pruning potential gods. The moon's labor pains. New Earth's telescopes captured the first lunar contraction. The gray surface split like overripe fruit, revealing pulsating red veins. The moon had always been an egg, and whatever was inside was laughing. Elena's final warning, recovered from dead astronaut suit. "We were wrong about everything. The gardener isn't the villain, it's the janitor. Cleaning up before they wake up. The things our moon was built to incubate, the things that painted the cosmic microwave background, are stirring. Tell the new gardeners to stop digging." Chancellor Vera's decision. The nuclear codes hovered before her. Not for war, for silence. "Initiate Global Dark Age Protocol," she ordered. "Kill every radio, smash every telescope. We'll live in caves if we have to." Her advisors protested, until the sky blinked. The last broadcast from the Kuiper Belt, a single image, the gardener's mouth sewn shut with planet-sized wires. Caption: "Good children don't play with matches." Then static, then something else laughing. Location: the birth of a new cosmos lunar observatory. Beta 12 final transmission. The technician's hands trembled as the moon's surface split like an overripe melon. Crimson light spilled across Earth's night side, painting continents in arterial red. "It's not a creature inside," she whispered into the recorder. "It's a concept made flesh. The telescope's showing me its true form, and my brain keeps..." The audio dissolved into wet crunching sounds. The last image showed the technician's eyes melting as she understood. What the moon carried one. Not a being, but a rule. The thing inside was the original law of motion too. Its first act. Rewriting gravity to make apples fall sideways in New Baghdad 3. Its laughter sounded exactly like the 21 St. Century transmission. Chancellor Vera watched an entire city float into the sky, its screaming inhabitants bouncing between buildings like macabre pinballs. "Oh," she realized, "we weren't food, we were keepers." The gardener's last gift, deep in the Kuiper Belt, the stitched mouth tore open. Out spilled 13 black seeds, each containing a compressed civilization. Their collective screams, instructions for planting one seed, lodged in Earth's crust. It grew into a tower within minutes. At its summit, a single button labeled, "Press to undo," Elena's voice from the tower. The hologram flickered, older than any recording should be. The gardener was saving us from choice. The moon's child isn't evil, it's creative. It will remake physics for fun. This button reverts everything to 2025, but you'll remember, and the cycle continues. Choose. Outside, the clouds spelled play in chemical symbols. New Earth decision. The crowd debated for exactly 33 seconds before a child pushed the button, not out of wisdom, because it shined. Final moments before reset 1. The sky, unzipped like fabric too. The stars winked out one by one. 3, the last sound. The gardener sighing as it dissolved. Then, the alarm tore through the silence at 3:17 a.m. Location: The Loop, closes Deep Space Array. New Mexico again. The alarm blared at 3:17 a.m. Dr. Elena Voss remembered. Her coffee cup froze mid-fall as 12,000 years of cycles flooded her synapses. The laughing aliens, the gardener's tendrils, the child who pressed the button. The memories burned like a brand. Across the room, Commander Jack Carter's hand twitched toward his pistol. His eyes locked onto hers. "You know now," he whispered. "It's always been 2025. The transmission began. The signal's true message, decoded after 11,607 cycles. When slowed down 1 million times, the alien laughter revealed embedded data. 1. A plea. Break the loop. 2. Instructions. Coordinates to the moon's hidden control node. 3. A warning. The gardener was the first volunteer. The aliens weren't mocking humanity. They were fellow gardeners from a previous iteration, still screaming into the void. The choice. Elena's fingers hovered over the array's controls. Option 1. Let the transmission complete cycle repeats. Option 2. Jam the signal. Invite something worse. Option 3. Reply with the scream, wake the moon early. Jack racked his shotgun. We do what they couldn't. Final transmission. Sent from Earth. A composite of the original laugh, every human scream from all cycles, the gardener's last sigh. The array broadcast it directly into the moon's crust. For the first time in history, the moon laughed back. The unshackling one. 3:18 a.m. Lunar surface cracks open too. 3:19 a.m. Earth's gravity reverses for exactly 12 seconds. 3:20 a.m. Every human being simultaneously remembers all past lives. In downtown Tokyo, a toddler pointed at the sky and said, "Again." The moon winked. New rules 1. The gardener's legacy. Its tendrils now weave between stars as bridges 2. Humanity's role. Cosmic comedians, tasked with teaching physics to laugh. 3. The next signal. Scheduled for transmission in 50,000 years. Elena and Jack watched the sunrise from the array's roof. "Think we'll do better this time?" Jack asked. The wind carried the sound of something ancient chuckling. Elena smiled. "We'll have to." Somewhere beyond Pluto, a new gardener stirred. And so, we reached the end of our cosmic joke, where laughter became both our doom and our salvation. But tell me, dear listener, when you hear the wind whisper tonight, or catch your reflection smiling when you didn't mean to, will you remember? Will you choose to laugh back? This has been Aliens Visited Earth Laughing. Then their signal went dead. Thank you for looping with us. Stay curious, stay defiant, and whatever you do, don't trust the moon. Second story, Aliens Visited Earth Laughing. Then their signal went dead. In the quiet corners of the cosmos, whispers of an enigmatic signal had been circulating for decades. The Galactic Council, ever vigilant, had intercepted fragments of a transmission that seemed to originate from a distant, uncharted region of space. The signal was peculiar, a mix of laughter and garbled code that defied decryption. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, the Council dispatched a reconnaissance team to investigate. What they discovered would send shockwaves through the galaxy and leave them with more questions than answers. In the sterile, bustling halls of the Galactic Council's Communication Center, a team of analysts huddled around a holographic interface, their faces etched with concentration. The room hummed with the soft whir of advanced machinery and the occasional murmur of hushed conversations. "We've isolated the signal," announced Analyst Kale, his voice tinged with excitement. "It's unlike anything we've ever encountered." On the holographic display, a waveform pulsed with erratic spikes, accompanied by a cacophony of sounds, laughter, interspersed with garbled code. The team listened intently, their expressions a mix of curiosity and unease. "It's almost playful," remarked analyst Lyra, her brow furrowed in thought. "But there's something unsettling about it, as if it's hiding a darker truth." The council, intrigued by the mysterious signal, decided to take action. A reconnaissance team, comprising some of the galaxy's most skilled explorers and scientists, was assembled and briefed on their mission: to trace the signal to its source and uncover its secrets. The reconnaissance team, led by Commander Alara, boarded their state-of-the-art vessel, the Stellar Voyager. As they prepared for launch, the atmosphere was a mix of excitement and apprehension. The crew knew they were embarking on a mission that could redefine their understanding of the cosmos. "All systems are go," announced Commander Alara, her voice steady and confident. "Initiating launch sequence." The Stellar Voyager roared to life, its engines propelling it through the vast expanse of space. The crew settled into their routines, monitoring the ship's systems and analyzing the signal as they drew closer to its source. Days turned into weeks, and the signal grew stronger, its laughter-filled code becoming more distinct. The crew listened intently, trying to decipher its meaning, but the signal remained elusive, defying their best efforts. As the Stellar Voyager approached the uncharted region of space, the crew braced themselves for the unknown. The signal was now loud and clear, its laughter echoing through the ship's communication systems. "We're entering the signal's origin zone," announced Commander Alara, her voice tinged with anticipation. "Prepare for first contact." The crew gathered around the viewing portal, their eyes wide with wonder as they beheld a sight unlike any other. Before them floated a massive ethereal structure, a construct of light and energy that pulsed with the same erratic rhythm as the signal. "It's beautiful," murmured one of the scientists, her voice filled with awe. "But what is it?" As the Stellar Voyager drew closer, the structure seemed to respond, its pulsations growing more intense. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out from the structure, enveloping the ship in a warm golden glow. The crew found themselves transported to a surreal landscape, a world of vibrant colors and ever-shifting forms. Before them stood a group of beings unlike any they had ever encountered. The aliens were tall and slender, their bodies composed of shimmering energy that seemed to dance and flicker with every movement. "Greetings, travelers," said one of the aliens, its voice a melodic blend of laughter and song. "We have been expecting you." The crew exchanged glances, a sense of unease settling over them. There was something unsettling about the alien's playful demeanor, as if it masked a deeper, darker truth. "We come in peace," replied Commander Alara, her voice steady despite the tension. "We intercepted your signal and have come to learn more about you and your world." The aliens exchanged glances, their laughter growing more intense. "Ah, the signal," said one of them, its voice tinged with amusement. "It is but a fragment of our existence, an echo of our joy and sorrow." As the crew spent more time with the laughing aliens, they began to notice subtle changes in their demeanor. The laughter, once playful and inviting, now seemed forced, almost desperate. The crew grew increasingly uneasy, sensing that something was amiss. One night, as the crew gathered around a campfire-like energy construct, one of the aliens approached them, its laughter replaced by a somber expression. "There is something you must know," it said, its voice barely above a whisper. "Our world is not as it seems. The laughter, it is a facade, a mask to hide our true nature." The crew listened intently as the alien revealed the dark truth behind their world. The laughing aliens were not beings of pure joy and light, but rather entities cursed with an eternal struggle between happiness and despair. Their laughter was a desperate attempt to stave off the darkness that threatened to consume them. With the dark truth revealed, the crew began to understand the true nature of the signal. It was not a playful transmission, but a cry for help, a desperate plea from a world on the brink of collapse. The crew worked tirelessly, analyzing the signal and searching for a way to help the laughing aliens. They discovered that the signal contained fragments of an ancient code, a key to unlocking the balance between joy and despair. "If we can decipher the code, we may be able to help them," said one of the scientists, her voice filled with determination. "But we must act quickly. Time is running out." The crew raced against the clock, their minds and bodies pushed to the limit as they worked to decipher the ancient code. The laughing aliens watched them with a mix of hope and despair, their laughter growing more desperate with each passing day. As the crew made progress, they began to notice changes in the aliens' world. The vibrant colors and ever-shifting forms seemed to stabilize, as if the balance between joy and despair was slowly being restored. "We're close," announced Commander Alara, her voice tinged with excitement. "Just a little more, and we'll have the key to their salvation." With the final piece of the code deciphered, the crew gathered around the energy construct, their hearts pounding with anticipation. They knew that this was their last chance to save the laughing aliens and restore balance to their world. As they activated the code, a wave of energy washed over the landscape, enveloping the aliens in a warm golden glow. The laughter, once desperate and forced, now rang out with pure, unadulterated joy. "You've done it," said one of the aliens, its voice filled with gratitude. "You've saved us from the darkness." With their mission complete, the crew prepared to return to the Galactic Council. They knew that their discovery would have far-reaching implications, redefining their understanding of the cosmos and the nature of existence. As the stellar Voyager launched into space, the crew looked back at the world of the laughing aliens, their hearts filled with a mix of pride and sadness. They had saved a world from the brink of collapse, but they knew that their journey was far from over. Back at the Galactic Council, the crew's report sent shockwaves through the assembly. The revelation of the laughing aliens and their struggle between joy and despair challenged the very foundations of their understanding of the universe. The Council vowed to continue exploring the mysteries of the cosmos, seeking out other worlds in need of help and striving to understand the complexities of existence. The legacy of the laughing aliens lived on, a testament to the power of hope and the indomitable spirit of exploration. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling and mysterious journey. Aliens visited Earth laughing, then their signal went dead, has taken us through a captivating tale of discovery, suspense, and the complexities of existence. From the enigmatic signal to the dark truth behind the laughing aliens, this story has shown us the power of hope and the indomitable spirit of exploration. As you reflect on this narrative, consider the deeper themes of joy and despair, and the importance of seeking understanding and balance in our own lives. The legacy of the laughing aliens reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating tales that delve into the mysteries of the cosmos and the strength of the human spirit. Stay tuned for more adventures that will keep you on the edge of your seat.